On this episode of the Virtual Press Box, I am joined by Nick Barry, and we talk about the NHL and NBA Finals, the NFL news that happened all of last week, which was the Myles Garrett trade, the AJ Brown trade, and unfortunately the cover reveal of Madden, whatever year it is going to be with the slob quarterback. I'm kidding. Caleb Williams is very good at what he does, and then we rounded up with Gimme Five, where it is five of our favorite sports covers. Not the game itself, just the covers, and if it has sentimental value. But for all that, let's hear from Nick with W Energy.
That's right. When it's time to pay the bills around the virtual press box office, it always comes back to W Energy Drink and their patented jitter-free formula. We've tasted it numerous times. They have so many different flavors to choose from. My personal favorite is the Tiger's Blood, but again, find your own. That's what W Energy is all about, finding what works for you. No matter what flavor you go with, if you do a trial pack, they come with their own shaker cup. But when you get to checkout, the main thing is use our discount code to get 10% off. That's VPB2023. That's for the virtual press box, and you will not be disappointed.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Virtual Press Box. I'm your host, Ricky Ramos, and as always, I am joined by Nick Barry. Nick, how are you doing today?
I am doing pretty good. Pretty good. Personally, doing fantastic. Professionally, hey, Cubs can't seem to get out of their own way, and I'm a little bummed. My Orlando Storm got bounced from the UFL playoffs this last weekend. So, hottest team, number one team in the league all season long, and they blew it in the first round of the playoffs to the defending champions, DC Defenders. So they're not going to be in the UFL Bowl this weekend. So.
Well, in more
Sad
pressing news, I, as a Nashville Predators fan, am very, very sad upon the news of today that Big Sexy himself, Michael McCarron, signed a 6-year deal to stay in Minnesota.
It's sad that a professional athlete decides to stay where it literally can get below negative 19 below, as opposed to having to play for a garbage franchise like Nashville. So, it just goes to show you.
Seeing number 47 on the ice was awesome. Of course, you were like, oh, you have Frankenstein on skates. But
yeah. Literally, if anybody's ever seen Addams Family, it's Lurch on skates, essentially. Or Frankenstein, Bigfoot, whatever you want to call it. He is literally a moving wall.
He'll put you on your ass.
But he's a hell of a player. I mean, give credit where credit's due. He's a hell of a player. There's a reason Minnesota got him. There's a reason they extended him. And there's a reason you're bummed he's not coming back to Music City. So,
we should have just kept him.
But like we talked about just a little bit ago during the pre-show stuff, I'm pretty sure Nashville has a pretty aggressive plan for what they're going to do this offseason, and not going after somebody like McCarron or not having the opportunity to, I don't think that's going to stop them from spending a lot of money this offseason. So,
hey, Nashville is $20 million under the floor of 90-something million.
Wow. And to think where this franchise was just, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, which I know is a long time, but in sports it really isn't.
No.
To think that this franchise literally almost left the Music City. I mean, they were giving tickets away to now as a fan, you're talking about they're $20 million under the floor and they're going to spend the money because, they're going to be competitive just like they were last year and they have been for the last few years. So night and day where this franchise was and where it is now.
It's just because I started tuning in. That was it. That's it. But
Okay.
before we get to talking about the finals, Nick, the MLB is doing a series in Las Vegas. You might ask, there's no stadium in Las Vegas. Well, there is. The AAA for the Athletics, the Las Vegas Aviators, formerly known as the Vegas 51s, which they should have just kept that name. The Vegas 51s used to be the AAA affiliate for the Mets, and then it bounced around all over the place. But they played where the Aviators play, and the Athletics will be here for this series and next series. And it was 100 degrees in a minor league baseball park. So whenever you get that together, the ball is going to fly. And I also think juice balls were used. Because I don't know if you saw the final score for this game or not, Nick.
I don't know. I don't know.
The Athletics won 15-14 in 12 innings.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Who they
was
play?
not nice. The Athletics are home against the Brewers. The Brewers won.
So essentially, it was like a Raiders Packers game.
Yeah. Yeah. The Brewers had 4 home runs on 18 hits.
But
The
side note, it is always good to see the Brewers lose.
the
Just so we're clear on
Athletics had 7 home runs on 16 hits.
So technically, we could call them the Las Vegas Athletics of Sacramento right now,
I mean, I guess
like
so,
the Los
yeah.
Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
I mean,
So
yeah.
now I'm wondering,
It's
with the 100-degree heat, we know Vegas is in the middle of a desert. Are they going to build a indoor stadium, or is it going to be outdoors? I mean, I
ret-
don't know. I have no idea what.
retractable from the early renders.
Okay, which I guess
Yeah.
makes sense. Okay,
You never
interesting.
know. That's what everyone's moving towards anyways, is retractable.
Now, I guess I also
Well,
wonder what was attendance like.
I don't know. I didn't see attendance. Let me see if I can find it really quick. But
Yeah,
what they didn't like hype it up or anything like that of, oh, it's going to be in Vegas. I literally found out literally the day of.
I don't think they want to hype it too much because it was going to be in a AAA ballpark, not like a major league stadium. So you don't want to. I think they're just kind of testing the waters, giving the fans of Vegas a little taste of Major League
You should
Baseball
hype it
back.
up. That's the thing. Like MLB every year does an international Mexico City series. They already did it. They didn't. I literally like no one. People could blink and they or okay, it happened. The
Yeah.
attendance for that game was 8,519, which I mean for us, we go to Sounds games, and that's about average attendance for the Sounds.
Right. But
So
that's a AAA game. That's not Major League Baseball. And the
yeah,
Brewers
but
are
I
one of the best
mean,
teams in the National League. So
yeah, that's very
not that
true.
they have a wide reaching fan base, but they are one of the hottest teams in the game right now. So and Athletics have actually had a pretty good season too. So
Yeah, athletics, they've held their own for everything. But
I'm
now,
interested. I'm interested to watch kind of how this progresses in Vegas, because obviously you're bringing a major league team into a city where there already is an established minor league team, and obviously
yeah,
I'm interested to
just
see
to see what.
how that works because Nashville's going to be facing that potentially.
Yes, and potentially Charlotte. There's so they were like, all right. So the MLB has been funny with the expansion talk, where they were like, all right, we're gonna wait to see what the Athletics do with their stadium, and then we're gonna wait and see what the Rays do with their stadium. They already figured it out. They basically were like, hey, Vegas, we'll help you move to we'll help you get the Athletics. So that takes away Las Vegas as a site. So that's still 2 teams expanding, hypothetically. Sacramento officially put a bid in last week. You have
Well,
Salt Lake City.
they do already have the press tent set up in Sacramento. So
Oh yeah, the press tents that you see at every single Sounds game that have people in it, just for food. But you have Nashville, Orlando, but please God no, Portland and Charlotte.
I think you're not going to do Charlotte and Nashville. I think you're going to do one of the two.
Yeah,
And I
I
think the other
mean,
one, the one
if
that's
you look at it,
intriguing,
which
if you're
one's
not going to
intriguing?
go if you're not going to go Midwest, which I still think there's a gap of no teams in the Midwest, other than like Kansas City. But I mean, like, what about Oklahoma, that whole area, Arkansas? You can go that way. But I think if you're gonna go East and West, I think you go Nashville over Charlotte. That's just me. I'm being biased, yes. But then the other one that's intriguing to me is Portland because there's nothing in the Northwest other than the Mariners. So having another team that's close, I know you have the California teams, but and maybe you don't want another West Coast team, but unless you're going to go Salt Lake City, I mean, I would rather
I'm
have Salt Lake City over Portland, but Portland's the
I'm here
intriguing one.
I'm here in Salt Lake City and Vegas, and Salt Lake City and Nashville are like the two. Like, I'm from everything I've read over the last 2 years about it. Nashville is set in stone.
Okay. So if you
Where
give me
in
Nashville and
Nashville?
Salt Lake City's already proven what they can do with a new team like they did with the hockey club. The
Exactly.
Mammoth, had a huge following right off the bat. Um, so I don't know, maybe that definitely has to help the look for Salt Lake City. I mean, because let's be honest, just look at Nashville. That's one of the things we talked about with the idea of the concept of moving the Grizzlies to Nashville is can Nashville support four pro franchise or three pro franchises currently, four once you add a baseball team and the basketball team moving. You already have the
Yeah.
Titans, you have the Predators. Nashville has been known in the past, as long as the teams are winning, fans show up. When the teams aren't winning, attendance drops big time.
Well, Nashville has it going for it. Nashville has something going for themselves as well. There's a reason why MLS built the largest North American soccer-only stadium in Nashville.
And I forgot, I'm sorry, that's my apologies. I forgot to include MLS. That is another major league franchise. I mean, that is
Yeah.
I know people don't necessarily think of soccer right off the bat when you think of the big four, but it's right there. I mean,
Yeah.
attendance wise, it's right there. I mean,
Before
viewership
we
wise,
move
it's right there.
before we move on, Nick, I do want to say something. The U.S. is hosting the World Cup this year. All these international teams are coming in and stuff like that, and they're staying in different spots. Like Japan's in Nashville. Some of these international cities are complaining about the weather in the United States. Like some European country is in Charlotte, and they're like, oh, they're having issues with players in this weather, and people looked at it, and it's like 85 degrees sunny.
But it's the humidity.
Yeah,
It's the humidity.
that's literally all it is. And they're like, oh yeah, they're having to like take extra like water breaks in practice, and it's like, yeah. And people are and like the Euro fans and international fans are trashing our stadiums and stuff, whatever. They're saying they have no character, and they're also saying how it's like impossible to like to get to and stuff. And then people are like, well, if you look at Europe compared to, if you drag Europe over here and you can get to all the stadiums via train compared to like Europe's not even as big as like 5 states combined.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
whatever.
Texas essentially is as big as Europe.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, it's also funny, like they talk about how the U.S. stadiums, the soccer stadiums specifically, don't have a lot of character because they're very generic or whatever. But I think I don't know, it was Manchester United or one of the big soccer teams from Europe. Their biggest crowd ever was when they played at the Big House in Ann Arbor. It was like 103,000 people,
Yeah.
108,000 people, something like that. And no soccer stadium in Europe has come close to that.
No.
So, I mean, come on. Character is character, but if you're going to see the stadium and not the product on the field, I get it. You want a comfortable stadium. You want to, I say this all the time. Neyland, for example, is an amazing stadium to visit once or twice. But when it gets down to it, you're still sitting on metal bleachers. It's not a comfortable stadium to sit in.
No.
So character in a stadium is nice. I get that. For example, I would say Purdue's football stadium, character wise, is amazing because it fits their look. It's all about the train feel, like your train station, train tracks, all that, blah blah blah. It's an amazing stadium, but it's not a very big stadium. It's not like Neyland or Ann Arbor or the uh, Ohio Stadium and for Ohio State. It's But if you want character, that's great. But if you want a giant stadium with the how loud it is, that's one thing. Or if you want a Lucas Oil where it's indoors and you don't have to sit in the weather and it's loud, that kind of thing. Or Seattle, the Seahawks Stadium, where it's loud as hell. What kind of atmosphere do you want? I would argue Nashville's MLS Stadium. I think it has a lot of character. I mean, I've only been there twice. I think it's a fantastic stadium. And that's
Oh
not being
yeah.
biased at all.
Oh yeah, the both games I went to, it was great. They had the checkered seats and all that stuff, and they have a fan-only section that if you aren't supporting Nashville SC, then you're not allowed in that area.
Well, and I get it for the European countries that they're used to, like you said, they can hop on a train, go straight to the stadium. It's a lot more intimate as far as being part of the community. Whereas here, yeah, you're getting downtown, even for Nashville stadiums, getting downtown is an absolute nightmare. That's not even
Yeah.
talking about Atlanta, Chicago, New York, L.A. You know those cities, but just getting to and from Nashville is not fun at all. So I kind of get that, especially if you're coming from Europe, where you're used to being, hey, I can hop on a train, literally get off the train and walk right to the stadium and be in and out and be done. Can't really do that here.
No.
But what we can do is listen to you tell everybody where to follow Virtual Press Box, hit our socials. And then, after we get past some unfortunate uncomfortableness with that stupid horn, we can jump into segment number 1. So let's hear from
All right.
you talking about our socials and then get on with the show.
For everybody that is looking to find the Virtual Press Box on social media, it is Facebook at Virtual Press Box, Instagram and TikTok at virtual.press.box. And to listen to the Virtual Press Box, we are on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts under Virtual Press Box. And Nick, with the summer upon us, we're officially in June 9th. There's 2 playoffs going on right now.
I'm sorry. I'm contemplating whether I need to go take a shower after having listened to that goal horn and that song. It's just, I feel so dirty and just, but yes,
Huh?
to your point, we
Huh?
are 2 of the big 4 are in their championship run right now, the NBA and NHL both, getting ever closer to crowning a champion for this season. NBA, things took a little bit of a turn last night with Game 3.
It did. I listened to all of Game 3 while I was at work, and look, I'm not a Knicks fan. I want the Knicks to do good for my dad, but I still want to see good basketball being played. Good basketball being
Right.
played isn't whenever there's 24 free throw attempts in one half for one team and 8 for the same team in the same half.
And for those keeping score at home, it was the Knicks that did not get the benefit of that
No.
that disparity.
No. So, Knicks lost whatever, best of 7 and everything like that. But
But they're up
come
2-1.
on.
More importantly, though, you were hoping with the momentum they had from taking the 2 games in San Antonio, you're going into Madison Square Garden, Game 3. Atmosphere is absolutely electric. I honestly thought it was potentially going to be a blowout, just with the momentum and just the energy and everything. And then give San Antonio credit. I mean, yes, the fouls were a little off, but San Antonio came to play. I mean,
They did. Victor Wembanyama played. I mean, he's been averaging a whole lot. The issue with the Knicks is that Jalen Brunson has as many turnovers as he does assists. And Karl Anthony Towns has 0 points scored in the fourth quarter of any of these games. And
so
and Jalen Brunson is shooting like 32% for the series. So it's a lot of that.
now I admittedly have not watched a ton of NBA basketball. I'm very open about that. But it did surprise me a little last night to see Wembanyama so aggressive.
That's
Like,
the thing. He hasn't been aggressive at all this series.
That's what I mean. Like last night, though, he was shoving Brunson to the ground, palming his face,
That
digging the elbows a little bit more.
that should have been a tech. Whenever he shoved Brunson, that should have been a tech. Look,
I'm not saying it shouldn't have been. I'm just saying it was. I was surprised because that was one of the things we talked about was he needed to get more physical. He needed to he needed to toughen up a little bit. And we thought that would happen, something that would happen more so in the offseason. And I know he's got a long way to go, a lot more work to do on that. But it was just surprising to see literally a one night or a 2 night turnaround, see him suddenly, I mean, he's throwing Brunson to the ground. Yes, probably could have called a T there. But just the fact that he was doing it was kind of surprising to me. And I'm wondering if that kind of was something they vocalized going into that game, something that they told him that he started to need to start doing. Was maybe it was something the Knicks were surprised by too, because I have to imagine they didn't think he was going to be as physical.
I think it's something like that is in the back of their head of, all right, we know what he's capable of, and we saw what he did against Oklahoma City. And
Right,
with how, he didn't like the physicality from Karl Anthony Towns. That Karl Anthony Towns kind of punked him out the first few games in San Antonio.
right,
And then game 2 was just nothing but the final minute and a half was, is literally stuff out of a nightmare for Wemby. He turned the ball over, passed it off his teammate's back. He missed the game-winning shot. It's just stuff like that. And then last night you look at it, and they were missing a lot of their free throws. And then you go down the stretch, they were 10 for 10 the last 10 free throws. And, but whenever you have 24 attempts, you kind of have plenty to, practice on.
right. Well, no, I mean, yeah. Now you got game 4 tomorrow night. I mean, if you're the Knicks, you stole 2 games from San Antonio. You were hoping for a split. You got 2. You can't drop 2 right back to San Antonio at home.
No, the last thing you need, if you want the series to last, and not go at least 4 more or the next 3 games, if you want the series to not go 6, then they need to fucking at least win 1 in New York from this set right here, because they don't need to go to San Antonio tied, and they do not need a do or die game in New York.
Right.
Just to bring it back. Just to bring it back for Game 7. That's if it goes Game 7. Of course, it's all hypotheticals here.
And once you get to Game 7, all bets are off. It's literally you throw everything at the wall.
Yeah. Yeah. So, at that point in Game 7, I'm calling fucking man number 12 and number 13 saying, hey, go hurt him. Go hurt him.
Of course you would. Of course you would.
It's kind of like in hockey, calling in the goons.
It's sending the goon.
Sending the goon. I mean, the Bulls did it all in the 90s with any of their centers. They have a roll. Wow. It's a scroll of how many centers they use in the 90s. If you play the game 82-0 online, you get the Bulls in the 90s and hit center. It's like a list of like 50 players. Like it's.
Let's just say if you see the Spurs or the Knicks roll out the 6'11" white guy that has a 7'2" 40, you know what's about to happen.
Someone is getting a brisk one of these when they drive the lane.
Yeah. He's got his socks up there halfway up his calves. He's got the all white high tops. Yeah.
Yeah, with the goggles. Yeah.
So I mean, Game 4. I'm interested to see how this goes tomorrow night. Now that the Knicks kind of know what the Spurs are doing, they know the Spurs aren't going to go away, and they may be battling. And I'm sure the NBA would love this to go 7, so they're going to be battling a little bit of that too with the officials. Maybe, I don't know, but I'll be interested to see how the Knicks respond, especially obviously star power, they have it, but like you said, they haven't necessarily showed up. And it definitely didn't show up in Game 3 the way they have been in 1 and 2. So we'll see how that goes. The flip side would be the NHL, and it has just been absolutely bananas.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
The last we talked about it, it was 1-1. So whenever we talked about it on Saturday at work, I was listening to the game at work, and I figured and I don't think you were watching because I was giving you live updates. Um, the Vegas scores in the second period. It gets called off. I think offsides. It was offsides. Vegas scores again like 30 seconds later, and it was called off to goalie interference.
Yep.
And literally after that, 4 goals.
But at this point, Vegas is up.
No, it was
Even
0-0.
without those 2 goals. Oh, you're okay.
No,
You're talking about okay.
yes, I was talking about So Vegas literally scores 2 goals that get called off due to various things. Right after that, they go on a heater. 4 goals. Mitch Marner hat trick in the same period. Mitch Marner was the assist for their other goal.
All in the second period.
All in the second period. And then
Yeah.
I turned the game off. I turned the Mets game on because the Mets were playing San Diego.
And I turned the hockey game on because I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah. And then I'm getting text updates from Nick. And I'm like, what am I missing here?
Carolina scores 3 goals in 39 seconds. That is ridiculous.
That's unheard
3
of.
goals in 39 seconds. They end up tying the game with, I think it was, a minute and 12 seconds left?
Yeah, under 2 minutes.
I texted you. They tie the game on a beautiful shot, but go to overtime, and after all of that, Vegas pulls it out. It's like
not one overtime, 2.
Overtime.
They went to double overtime, and then tonight, Carolina was up.
Carolina was up 3-1 at the end of the first period, and as of right now, 2 minutes left. Carolina's holding on, clinging to a 4-3 lead. Vegas had tied it in the second period. Going into the third, Vegas comes out, or Carolina comes out and gets a goal. Vegas currently leads 2-1. My question to you, and I was talking, my mom is a huge hockey fan. I was talking to her earlier about this. My question to you, though, was, I get in the playoffs, it's elite offenses. Okay, I understand that. But it's also supposed to be elite defenses as well.
Yeah.
Where the hell is the goaltending?
Where is goaltending? Carolina pulled their goalie after the second period. They yanked him. They put the other goalie in, and he plays, 3 periods of 1-goal hockey, which you can't go wrong with.
Well, and it's not just this round. We're talking every single round of this playoffs have seen just absolute shootouts, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, it's like the goalie sitting there in warm-ups, and there's peppering him with pucks. It's like, what is going on?
Yeah. I could tell you a goalie that wouldn't be lit up like this. He has a commercial where he says no goals. But
Corey Crawford is retired. Okay, let's calm down. But look, it's always what you need next year, especially, is the Dark Knight. So, Spencer Knight, Blackhawks.
Yeah,
he's poised.
Poised.
I know you're going to do your whole national anthem bullcrap, but that I'm talking about legitimate, young, hungry goaltender that's going to be the future of the NHL, not a guy on his way out.
On his way out, whatever. We have two goalies that can start on any team in the league right now.
Fair enough.
Jussi Saros and Saros and Jussi Sonninen.
Yes.
So don't even.
But so a minute 59 left. Game 4. Looks like Carolina might hold on. You never know, though, with the way this series has gone. Currently, Vegas up 2-1. This is anybody's series. I mean, these two teams are literally just beating the crap out of each other offensively, back and forth. If this goes to Game 7, it's amazing because I think it's going to be 7 amazing games. And to me, that's the best case scenario for the NHL. You want goals, you want scoring, you want people to watch because it's exciting. If you're a fan of either one of these two teams, I don't know how you're sleeping until this is over with.
Yeah.
Your adrenaline every night, your adrenaline's got to be just sky high.
Yeah. Before we move on, Nick, if you're, if you're the Blackhawks, how many picks are you calling up and offering Edmonton to get a Mr. Connor McDavid. I know he hasn't said he's not available. They haven't said he's available for trade or anything like that. But with all of the speculation of he might want out, he might sign a 7-year extension. I'm sure
If you're the
something.
Blackhawks, you have a fantastic young nucleus right now. You have future stars, literally future stars of the league right now, a ton of them on every line almost. You have a farm system that other teams are jealous of right now. You have tons of picks coming up in future drafts from the way you've been aggressive in trading. To me, the youth movement only goes so far. You have to have veteran presence. Look, Taves and Kane were fantastic during that decade run for the Blackhawks, but you know what made it happen? Guys like Marian Hossa, Seabrook, um, the goalie Corey Crawford was a veteran. You need veteran guys to kind of fill in the gaps and help those young guys figure out how to win. Go get Connor McDavid. If he's somehow available, officially or unofficially, you trade everything short of Connor Bedard to get him. I understand you're going to lose. You're going to lose some fan favorites in that. I get that. If the trade-off is a legitimate shot at the cup, that's what we're here for. That's what this is about.
Yeah. I mean, I know Nashville's not in the predicament of it because they don't have the star power you could trade. Because I don't know who wants a Stamkos in his late 30s or Ryan O'Reilly in his late 30s, Yossi, but all that stuff. But they're still producing at their age. So
what Nashville has are assets that people are looking for at the trade deadline. Like, hey, we're this guy. We're a Stamkos away from this cup run. We need another. Sharpshooter. That's what you're. Or we need a guy that's going to come help us figure out how the hell to get this over the hump. So, and unfortunately, if you're trading those guys, then that means you're out of it. So the Predators kind of faced that last year. They were not bad enough to dump everybody, but they weren't great enough to make that run. Just barely fell short of the playoffs.
Now, if anybody in the league wants Jonathan Marchessault, they could have him. and oh my God, I am forgetting his name. Justin Barron. That guy could get shipped off to a different league. I'm tired of him. Oh my God, he's a restricted free agent, but Nashville better not match his offer. Match his offer sheet.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I can feel it. I have a sense of these things every week. It's starting, and there it is. That helps kind of cleanse the soul. Gets that previous goal horn out, the classic, the OG of goal horns. There we go. A little bit of Chelsea Dagger, not too much, just enough to keep it family friendly. So
that's look, we're already borderline enough with how you are in the show. So yeah, we got to do anything we can. Yeah.
So it feels like now, for the first time in a long time, we're going to talk. I know we did the NFL schedule release, but we haven't hit NFL news in a few weeks, which feels kind of weird.
This isn't any scandal of coaches sleeping with reporters or anything like that, but
no?
We have a bombshell literally dropped on people.
Well, it's funny.
Which was
you always hear, wait, hold on a second. You always hear. Hold on. You always hear they're going to trade this guy or they're going to designate him as a post June 1st cut. Every time they say that, it's in like January and February, and it makes you think, wow, that's like half a year away, or that's like so many months away. Well, even last week when they're like, oh, this trade's going to go down because it's going to be a post June 1st thing. I'm like, yeah, but that's like the middle of the summer. Like, what are we doing? I'm like, then like 2 days ago, it hit me. I'm like, that was last week. Like that was post June 1st. Like that's right now. Like that's how close we are to training camps. That's how close we are to, the NFL season officially kind of getting back underway. So that, I'm sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, that's what it made me kind of sit up and go like, oh crap, we're already that far ahead into the process that we're past post June 1st. So all that stuff is hitting now. And that's why post June 1st, we saw this huge flourish.
Apparently the Myles Garrett trade has been kind of in the works for a while now because the Browns didn't want to pay him his June 1st start of the new year bonus, which is like a ridiculous bonus from what I heard. It was like I think it was like a $30 million bonus.
They just signed this contract during the season last year.
It was 2 years ago for Myles Garrett. It was 2 years ago for Myles Garrett. Yeah, it was Myles Garrett requested a trade, and they said, "How much money for you to actually want to be here?"
And then they're like, and on top of that, we're gonna get like 8 quarterbacks.
Yeah,
none of them are any good, and we're gonna like tank this season, even though the defense is literally a legitimate contender on any other team.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you talk about teams, franchises in the past that have wasted Hall of Famers. The Lions with Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders,
Dolphins with
Marino.
Dan Marino, Bears with Jay Cutler.
Hey, I can't argue that. I cannot argue that. But Urlacher, they did go to a Super Bowl.
Urlacher's not a Hall of Famer in my eyes.
Oh my God, he is.
Zach Thomas is better. Zach Thomas is better.
Oh. I think Zach Thomas calls Brian Urlacher sir, if I remember correctly.
Anyways, we were talking about players and their wasted careers.
The Cleveland Browns, you have Myles Garrett. You have an elite defense, first of all. But on top of that, you have a no doubt about it, could retire right now and be a first ballot Hall of Famer in Myles Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
And not only do you screw it up so bad, but then you extend him because you're afraid of losing him and don't want to trade him, only to pay him a ton of money, make terrible decisions in that next year and a half, 2 years, and then trade him anyway.
Yes. And what do they get? They get Jared Verse, who's only played 2 years, and this man is going to be an All-Pro. There's no doubt about it. He's going to end up being an All-Pro. They get a 2027 first, a 2028 second, and a 2029 third. And what people might not recognize is that Jared Verse wears number 8. There is a player on that team that took starting quarterback snaps last season, or 2 seasons ago, with that same number. Dillon Gabriel was not given compensation, was not given a reason. He no longer has number 8. I think they had to swap some numbers around because quarterbacks can only wear 0 through 19 at the moment of that trade, and Dillon Gabriel had no numbers. Dillon Gabriel had number 8 taken away from him for Jared Verse. There were no numbers available for him. So they moved it around, and he is now wearing number 6.
See, to me, if you're the NFL, there used to be quarterbacks could wear anything up to 49. Just let it do that way again. Anything up to 49.
I liked it how it used to be with certain position groups being able to get numbers in this area.
Right.
I don't like it how my starting center could wear 00. Like, I just don't like that.
Right, or my All-Pro end could be number 4. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but if you're going to do it, if you're going to open it up, then open it up for everybody. Don't just restrict quarterbacks back to 0 to 19.
Yes.
But, yeah, I do like the fact that I'm pretty sure they went to Dillon Gabriel and said, look, you're like quarterback number 6 on this depth chart. You're going to take whatever number we give you, okay? So, or you can go play for Arizona or somebody. I really don't know what else to tell you.
I don't know. I don't even know what's going on in Arizona. Jesus Christ.
If you're Jared Verse, you go from Super Bowl contending Rams to Cleveland.
Yeah, that's not fun.
And I get it. He's going to be compensated. And there's no now. Here's the thing: if you're Jared Verse, Cleveland's going to throw a ton of money at you when your contract comes up. You don't have to resign.
This is oh my God, Nick! Thank God you said it. Breaking news! Dun 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 dun. If you're a star player and a team offers you a contract that you're on, you don't have to accept it. Oh my God! Who would have thought that?
Guess
I'm
what?
tired
Guess
of.
what? And if you're that good, which Jared Verse is, and you're still that good, the other really good teams are going to pay you a ton of money too.
Hmm?
And you know what? Let's just say you're Jared Verse. You run out. I don't know how many years he has left. Let's say he has 2 years left on his rookie deal.
He does, yeah,
So,
2 years.
so let's say he doesn't re-up with Cleveland, mercifully, but Cleveland says, "Hey, we're going to pay you $30 million a year," and then you have the Ravens or somebody come and say, "You know what? We can only offer you 25 million a year, but you're going to be playing for the Ravens." Don't
Yeah,
sign with Cleveland.
no,
I get it. $5 million is a lot. It ain't worth it. $25 million or whatever the number is. Play for a contender. Go get your
yeah,
Super Bowl run. It's
yeah.
not
Like if
happening.
say if the Jets come calling and say, "Hello, Mister
Oh,
Verse, we would like to pay you $45 million for the next 4 seasons. Not 45 altogether, 45 for each individual season." Um, yeah, the money sounds nice, but it's also, to quote a movie, the goddamn Jets.
more importantly, I mean, like, there's just so. If I'm again, neither one of us have played in any pro league, but we've watched enough. We've been fans enough. We've followed it enough. You know the ins and outs of it. Look, I would like to think if I'm in their position as my contract is coming up, I go to my agent. And I don't give them a list of teams I will play for. I give them, especially if you're good enough, like somebody like Verse or Miles Garrett, where you can kind of pick your spot. I go, look, here is the list of out of 32 teams. Here's the list of 4 that I'm not playing for, unless I got traded to them. But then I have no choice.
Yeah,
But as a free
like in
agent,
NA.
don't even take their phone call. Don't even
Yeah,
if you see an area code from Green Bay, hang up.
yeah, like in NHL, they have it uniquely to where there's no move clause to certain teams.
Yes.
But speaking of
Yes.
moves, we have another one to talk about. AJ Brown gets
Oh,
moved
okay.
to Philadelphia, or from Philadelphia to New England. He's back with Papa Variable over here. Um,
So are the Eagles the NFL version of the Kardashians? Really? I
see,
mean, there is just so much drama every time the Eagles come up for discussion.
it's been
Like
like
this
that my
one,
entire life. It was Terrell Owens, and then Donovan McNabb, and Andy Reid not getting along, all this that, and then you had the Dream Team with Michael Vick and all of
oh,
them, and
Vince,
it's
Vince,
just
Vince Young.
yeah, the backup quarterback calls us the Dream Team. That's not a good sign for how your season's going to go.
Hmm.
But AJ Brown,
The worst
to
kept
you,
secret, by
Nick,
the way, was that this trade was going to happen. Huh?
literally. Now, Nick, if you were Patriots here and nobody's calling for AJ Brown is probably like, please, 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 let me just go play for Mike Vrabel again. Are you paying next year's first and this year's fifth for AJ Brown?
No.
No.
No. As look, we talked about it all last year going into the Super Bowl. Drake May is not that great. He's
No.
not terrible. I'm not saying he's terrible. They had the easiest schedule in the league by far. They
There's
had a
a
good team, not a great team. They had a good team. They had a very
yeah.
solid defense. Do you think AJ Brown on that roster last year wins them the Super Bowl? You put him in the
No.
Super Bowl.
No.
No.
There
So
was no
why give up?
blocking.
Right. Why
There,
give
there
up
was
your
no
future?
protection. Yeah.
Right.
Um there's a podcast to listen to, Bill Simmons podcast, and during the season Bill Simmons has a co-host on every Sunday for the NFL. His name is Sal. And Sal has a funny nickname for Drake May, and that's Drake Maybe.
Well, and I don't want to. Let's kick back off May for a second because we both agree he's good, not great.
Is
Could
he
he be
okay?
great? Maybe. We'll
Okay,
see.
here. All right. Is he top 10? No.
No,
Top 15?
no,
Top 20?
yes.
Okay.
I'd say he's top. I'd say he's toward the bottom of that, but I'd say he's top 20.
I say he's about
Well,
17.
okay, because also you got to think. So there's 12 other quarterbacks that got to be worse. 12 starting quarterbacks that got to be worse than him, and there
Yeah.
probably is. But also to kick the focus back, let's not forget it's not like AJ Brown was taking over games last year. Okay,
No, not at all.
yeah, he hasn't for the last 2 years. It's not like he's Randy Moss, and that's
No.
what kind of gets lost in this whole discussion is that people keep treating like him wanting out of Philadelphia like it's Randy, like prime Randy Moss saying I want out.
Yeah,
No,
people
that's
are escalating this to the point as if it was Justin Jefferson saying "Get me out of Minnesota."
right.
Because if it's
No,
Justin Jefferson saying "Get me out of Minnesota," you're gonna have 31 other teams knocking on your door saying, "Hey,
and to Jefferson's credit, he hasn't said a word.
no, not at all." AJ Brown gets traded to Philadelphia because Tennessee doesn't want to pay him. Okay, we understand that. And then Philadelphia pays him, and then he's like, you know what? I don't like this quarterback. I'm going to, just be a headache. Reading a book on the sideline, pouting, all that stuff. Giving up on plays.
Well, here's the thing. Perfect comparison. You mentioned him just a few minutes ago. Philadelphia Eagles will stay within the city of brotherly love. Terrell Owens, AJ Brown. Okay? The difference between the two is Terrell Owens, for all the stuff he did, all the antics, the push-ups in the driveway, the popcorn, the stuff he did in Dallas, all that stuff. He wanted to win. And he dominated games. He dominated the Super Bowl in a losing effort with a broken ankle. I mean, he's night and day difference style player between AJ Brown and Terrell Owens.
Yeah, like
Now, both headaches, yes, both.
I'd rather have AJ Brown as a headache than Terrell Owens as a headache. I'm going to go ahead and say that because AJ Brown is not saying homophobic slurs to my starting quarterback.
Well, okay. Yes. This is kind of like the Chris Benoit argument. If you're talking about just pure football player, though, just talent on the field, Terrell Owens, night and day. That's what I'm saying is when Terrell Owens does this stuff, you're kind of like, all right, I wish he would just shut up. But look what he's doing. As far as AJ Brown, like he won't shut up. He keeps causing. There's drama back for him and Jalen Hurts, all this stuff, but he's not even producing. Like that's the thing. Like it'd be one thing if you're producing, but if you're not even doing that and you're a distraction, now you're just border on Antonio Brown territory.
And Antonio Brown was on a Hall of Fame trajectory until he decided to say, you know what, I quit in the middle of the game.
Well, I think until Vontaze Burfict happened. The hit from Vontaze Burfict, I think, changed a lot. Whether you want to say CTE or what, but he was not the same person after that.
You talking about Terrell Owens completely gave me an epiphany of the TO show. And then the T.O. and Ocho show when he was in Cincinnati, it gave me an epiphany. And then it made me think, like, wait a second, when was Terrell Owens in Cincinnati? The only way I remember Terrell Owens in Cincinnati was the VH1 show of T.O. and Ocho show. That's the only way I remember it. But
that's
Nick,
when they also were with TJ Who's Your Mama.
Nick,
still
you
one
had
of the best fantasy football commercials. So.
Yeah. You had well, it's not going to be as good as my fantasy football name in the Dynasty League we're doing. I don't know if you see my name. I can't. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
I'm afraid to
it. I'll tell you later. It makes me laugh every time. You look at the list and you'll see mine immediately. But Nick, you had some good news this week or last week. The entire league and the PA got on their knees and prayed to Chicago, and might have done some other things for them. You know, whatever. Do what you want with it. I'm surprised you didn't paint your nails for this occasion.
You moved it up a day. If we would have kept it on a normal Wednesday taping, I probably would have. But you moved it up a day,
Okay.
so I didn't have time. I've said from the very beginning, they hoist the Lombardi Trophy, I will gladly do it, gladly. Because you know what, people express themselves in a million different ways. If that's what you're going to focus on instead of how he's playing on the field, then so be it.
Yeah.
But that's more about that person. Look, he lives his life, doesn't bother anybody, and he's literally a rising star in the NFL. Now, granted, it's been 1 year or 2 years, one great year. We'll see how. And even within that great year, people forget there were still some moments that were a little rocky. Okay,
Yeah.
he's still a young quarterback. He's still learning, but I mean, that dude, his confidence went from like 50 to 150 with
Yeah.
the way that
The,
season ended.
yeah. But the thing is, though, Nick, with these Madden covers, the past few years, they've kind of gotten stagnant. They've all looked the same. It's like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of when the turning point was. Madden 21 had a different cover, or a unique cover to Lamar Jackson. It was like a side angle, and then
Right.
22 was Brady and Mahomes, right?
And with the exception of the memorial cover of Madden when he passed away,
Yeah,
other than that, they EA likes to use kind of a generic. We just kind of tweak it a little bit, put a guy on there. It's kind of a vanilla, almost like they don't want to get too creative with it because they don't want to. I don't want not offend, but they don't want to. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the
like
best word, but
it was McCaffrey or Josh Allen, McCaffrey. I'm forgetting somebody, and Barkley. Well, no, Barkley and then Caleb now.
yeah. And the difference with the Caleb one, and I think what you're getting to is what the cover is. There's two covers. There's the regular version, and then there's the ultimate version or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
The regular version is him doing the jump man, the Caleb Williams jump man, not the jump man. The recreating the play from the Packers playoff game, 4th and 8, game's over, 4th and 8, and he rolls to his left, and just an absolute ridiculous pass that you should not be able to make. Not because he's the Bears quarterback. I'm not. Just if anybody makes that throw, if Mahomes would have made it, the world would have ended that day.
oh my God, Armageddon would have started 2 times over.
But and I don't know. I don't know how many quarterbacks in the NFL can make that play. But it's just a ridiculous throw. But he jumps off, in midair, is kind of the Jordan Jumpman pose, flicks his wrist to Roma Dunze, first down. So they had him recreate uh, that shot for the cover. And then the ultimate edition is the Iceman cometh pose, which is pretty cool, actually. Pretty cool that they embraced that they did that. So yes. And the funny thing is, the next part you have to talk about, if you're going to talk about the cover of Madden, is the Madden curse. And funny enough, if this is how it affects Chicago, then I'm all for it, because it hit the city of Chicago in the face the next day. The day after Caleb has the announcement of the cover athlete for Madden, literally 24 hours later, the Chicago Bears announce we're moving to Indiana. If you look at the cover of the Jumpman cover, that they're the main cover for Madden, the background is the skyline of Chicago.
Not
So
a
the curse literally just smacked Chicago right on the face.
Now, what
And
if
it was
this is the
like,
type of curse to affect other sports teams in that city because of that? As in, a shitty hockey team, the North Siders.
Blackhawks haven't made the playoffs in years. Bulls haven't been relevant in forever. The
I
White
didn't say the
Sox
Bulls.
literally just I know. I'm saying the White Sox literally just had the worst record in baseball 2 years ago, and the Cubs can't seem to get out of their own way right now. So
And they have
I don't know what else you could do
uh
other than burn down the stadiums. I mean, I really don't know.
I mean the north side's a dump. North side's a dump.
Oh,
2
look, you're
bathrooms, the
talking.
entire stadium. Are you shitting me?
I will give you that. That's a little rough, but
Piss
I mean,
troughs,
you got to.
not
You
urinals,
got.
troughs to piss in. What are we in the
Yeah,
1920s? No,
come
not
on. It's all.
yeah,
Come on.
not yeah.
That's where men go to pee. You use a trough, man. Come on. And you got to sacrifice some stuff if you're going to go to baseball heaven, and that's just the way it is.
Baseball heaven.
Uh,
That's in Boston.
oh no. But so yes, the Caleb Williams, cover athlete for Madden, awesome for the first time in Chicago. Well, technically, the first time a Chicago Bear has been on the main version of Madden. Back in 2003, I think it was. The NFL or EA used to put out a
2K.
Spanish version of Madden.
No.
No. Madden. There used to be a Spanish version of Madden that was released in Spanish-speaking countries and in the United States, but it was all in Madden. Everything was in Spanish. And on that cover was Roberto Garza, center for the Bears, who was one of the most prominent Hispanic NFL players at the time.
Oh, okay.
So technically, he was the first Bear on a cover, but as far as the main Madden, it's Caleb Williams.
Okay, I was just going to bring up Brian Urlacher. I was going to say Brian Urlacher for 2K.
Yeah, NFL 2K3 was Urlacher, which is a huge honor for a Bear to be on that. But not a lot of Bears when you think about it. No Devin Hester, no Julius Peppers, no Jay Cutler, no Brandon Marshall, Forte. I don't know how big a star is. Bears stars in there.
I would have bought a Jay Cutler Dolphins cover.
Oh, get out of here. Get out of here with that. Oh, stop it. Stop
hey,
it.
I proudly wear my Jay
Thomas.
I proudly wear my Jay Cutler Dolphins still. Like, come on.
Hey, there's nothing but Cutler love on this program. So, but then again, so the great Bears news, and then 24 hours later, the Bears announce essentially without a Hail Mary miracle at the last second, they are moving to Indiana, which is not the worst news in the world. It's literally 40 minutes from Soldier Field. Their offices are still in Chicago. Their practices are still in Chicago. Their home games would just be in Indiana. That's the only difference.
They go from a dump to a suburb.
Well, when it's done, it will be a state-of-the-art stadium. I mean, which it could have been in Chicago. And what people forget in all this is not the Bears' fault.
No.
If you look at what Indiana was offering versus what Illinois was making them suffer for, there's no one in their right mind who wouldn't take the Indiana deal.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you want to compare it to other NFL teams, real quick, there is a laundry list of NFL teams that play nowhere near their name. The 49ers are an hour away from San Francisco. The Cowboys are 45 minutes away from Dallas. The Giants and Jets aren't even in the same state. They're in New Jersey.
Hey! Now they are 9 miles away from New York.
Different state, completely different state. That's all.
9 miles away. Come on.
Hey, Washington Redskins are in Maryland. They're not in Washington D.C. They're in Maryland.
D.C. is like on the border of it. Whatever.
I'm just saying.
Or are you still going to be Chicago Bears? What are you?
Miami Dolphins don't play in Miami. They play in the Gardens. So there's very few teams in the NFL are actually in the city that they're in.
I mean, Nashville is literally the heart of Nashville.
But they're the Tennessee Titans. They're not the Nashville Titans. Just like the Arizona Cardinals, not the Phoenix Cardinals like they used to be. Because they're not in Phoenix.
They're in Glendale.
Right. The Rams and Chargers don't play in L.A. The stadium's not in L.A.
It's in Inglewood, right?
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. So, this is not...
all I gotta say,
losing their mind. They're just losing their minds because it's the Bears, and the Bears should be at Soldier Field. And I agree, but the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois won't get off of their greed. They are
all I gotta say is everybody. Nick makes a team in an MLB expansion draft, puts him in Mexico, and all of a sudden he's in control of borders and everything like that. But before we go off the rails even more, Nick,
Yeah.
I think we have one more thing to talk about.
Yes, we do. And in honor of Caleb Williams being on the cover of Madden,
Let's
and
not say honor of. Come on.
and with us talking last week about how important sports video games were to both of us, it just worked out perfectly for the segment of all segments, the one and only award-winning Nobel Peace Prize in the running for what segment is?
It is time for Gimme Five.
Self high five.
That's right. Give me five. Or give me five, high five, low, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's time for the segment of all segments. This week, though, because of the King of the North himself, the mayor of Green Bay, the owner of Lambeau Field, being on the cover of Madden for 2027, Caleb Williams, and it's actually your idea, love the idea, our five favorite sports video game covers of all time. Now, this is individual. It's not going to be unanimous. This is not going to be everybody's going to love our picks. This is our five favorite covers, and it could be sentimental, could be because of the artwork, could be because of who's on it, could be all kinds of different things. Doesn't mean the game's any good. Could be the game is absolutely terrible. And the flip side of that is there are some fantastic games that the covers are just generic.
Yeah.
EA is, like we said, we talked about.
Yeah, but before we start all this, I will want to say thank you for giving me credit for this because I come up with many great ideas. But as you were saying, EA kind of gives generic ones for Madden, but if you look at the NHL one, it's literally it's a great cover. You see the player raising the Stanley Cup. Nick, go ahead and start with number one for you.
I'll start with
number five.
One, number five. Yeah. See, you're still messed up from last week when we did the draft for.
Yeah, it's all
pay-per-view.
over the place.
So, for me, number five, and it's a game. This is the definition of the game is terrible. The game is absolute garbage as far as I'm concerned. But the cover is, to me, what I always wanted a WWE wrestling game cover to be. And that's WWF Raw for Xbox. It was Xbox exclusive. That was when SmackDown was PlayStation exclusive. And WWE Raw, the cover is just absolutely perfect. Obviously, it's popped up here on the screen. It's almost like if you did, when you were growing up, you had posters in your room. This is what a WWF poster would look like at the time.
Yeah.
It's got a few stars on it. It's got just that gritty Attitude Era feel. It just felt like Monday Night Raw. I mean, that's what it felt like when you looked at it. It looked like a picture of Monday Night Raw. To me, it's, again, the game is not very good at all.
No.
But the picture itself, to me, is one of my favorite. And, there are some SmackDown covers that could have been on my list, but they tended to focus on one guy or just the stars, or they had kind of a generic feel as it flowed until it got later on in the process. So I wanted something, that to me, when I thought of this, when you mentioned this, that was one of the first things that popped in my head was that cover.
Okay.
So number five for you.
Number five for me is it's my favorite baseball game on Nintendo, and I just love this cover. It's everyone's fixing to see. It's a close play at the plate. You can't get any closer, and I think it's just iconic with how it is.
And so, with that, is it a game that you actually enjoyed playing?
Oh yeah, I love playing it. I played it all the time. As I said when we talked about the sports games a few weeks ago, I actually would write down my lineup and in each order, and every day I would flip on a different page, and I would actually make it like a scorebook.
Okay.
So
So, number 4 for me, and I will admit, this is the one on my list that was a bit of a homer pick, but to me it was special because it was the first time one of my guys was on the cover of a game. It's a guy that I loved. Um, Still one of the jerseys that I own and wear. It's NFL 2K3. We talked about it earlier. Brian Urlacher, the first time a Chicago Bear, other than Mike Ditka's Power Football from the Genesis way back a long time ago.
I mean,
But
but
even
you
then, he wasn't
were.
in a Bears uniform.
I mean, at that point, you were in college when it came out.
Get the hell out of here. I was like 7 years old, so calm down.
Is that like 7
But
and dog years and stuff? But
but even then, he wasn't in a Bears uniform because you couldn't have NFL license then. So he was
yeah,
in a blue and white uniform. But this one, NFL 2K3, the game, again, 2K was never one of my favorite games, but it had Urlacher on it. It had Brian Urlacher featured on it. So to me, that was a huge deal. I actually have a copy of the game. Don't play it. I've never
as
played it.
well. Look, Nick. Oh my God! Please do me the favor. Please, for the love of God. I know you have a PS2 somewhere in your house. I will
Well, I have the
literally.
Xbox version, and I have that. I have my original Xbox. I have my Xbox 360 and my
Well,
Xbox One and my
I will
Series
buy
S.
you the copies of said games on your Xbox. Please, for the love of God, give it a shot. Oh my
No,
God!
I think I have that. I think I still own the NFL 2K3.
Well,
I
give it a
bought it,
shot.
but
It's awesome. Please, 2K3 is awesome. 2K4 is awesome. 2K5 is just the peak of sports games. Nick, you could talk a player out of retirement. Come on.
how are we doing this again? How are you getting ESPN 2K5 worked into a conversation?
It just
Stop.
happens.
Get help. What's the Jordan meme? Just
Stop
stop.
it. Get some help.
All right, number 4 for you.
Number 4 for me is one of my favorite football games ever. A lot of these are favorites because if they don't interest me, then I'm not going to play it.
Right.
It was one of the first up-to-date Maddens I've ever had, and it was for Xbox 360. I remember my dad bought it from a Blockbuster while it was going out of business, and so they sold it to him for $20. Um,
Okay.
it came out in the summer, and then in like September, Dad went to a Blockbuster and they sold it to him for $20. I actually have a copy for it right now. I'm a PlayStation guy. So I bought my copy on PlayStation, and I have it right now. Madden 10. It's the first ever cover for NFL to feature two guys, and
Yep.
it was also really cool because these two teams were just in the Super Bowl, so that's what just makes it even cooler because I think that's like the one of the earlier Super Bowls I remember in my life. But because I remember actually watching that, like play in, play out the entire game, and
One of the greatest catches in football history.
literally, like you can't get anything better. Unless you watch go to a random arena football game like me and Nick did, and just see nothing but toe taps all over the place. But that cover is just iconic to me.
Okay.
All right,
Um,
Nick, number 3 for you, unless you have rebuttal about it.
so number 3 for me, these next 3, my top 3, are also games that I loved to play. So it just kind of worked out that way. And this one is one that I told you there was one non-traditional game on my list. So this is not when you would think of sports games, you may not think of this one. But the cover, to me, it's first of all, it's SSX Tricky, snowboarding game. I played that thing hours upon hours upon hours. Other than Madden or NCAA, it's probably the sports game I played the most. And I know you may not think of snowboarding as a sports game right off the bat. You know, traditionally you think of baseball, basketball, football, hockey, golf, whatever. But the cover, as you can see in the picture, to me, it's just it just embodies the game. It's fun. It's different. It's big. It's loud, and that's what Tricky was, or it is. And to me, would love for EA to go kind of delve back into those type of games. SSX Tricky, NFL Street, NBA Street,
Oh, just the EA big, yeah.
that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. It was just a fun. And maybe you don't do the full versions of the game. Maybe it's a download only type thing or whatever. But something like that, it was just a fun game. But the cover to me is something I'll always remember. Again, it's one of those ones when you said cover our five favorite covers. That was one of the first ones that popped in my head. I was like, yeah, it's tricky. It has to be on that list.
All right.
So 3 for you.
Is that the tricky game, SSX? Is that the one with like the Mario verse characters in it?
No. That
No.
was a later version. There
Okay.
was SSX.
I played the later version because I remember I was always
Yeah.
Luigi because I
Yeah.
think Luigi's cooler than Mario.
There was SSX, which was the first version. It was good. There was Tricky, which is where they really upped up the hip hop
Yeah.
and the being loud, and that the Tricky version is way better than the original one. So
Okay.
all right. So number 3.
Number 3 for me is is a 2K game. It is NBA 2K16. Many people in the 2K community think that this is the actual best 2K they've ever made. To where if you play on PC, you could still download rosters for it and everything like that, and logos and new team updated jerseys, everything like that. And this cover had Anthony Davis, James Harden, and Steph Curry. And at the time, 2015, I'm huge into sports, still am, but my favorite player in the league at the time was James Harden. And whenever I did a franchise, I did the Timberwolves, and I made sure to get James Harden in that franchise. I did a fantasy draft and all that stuff. But I love that cover. And the intro for it is really cool. It features this guy playing street ball hoops, and he plays against a different version, like a demonic version of Steph Curry, Anthony Davis, and all that, and James Harden. He beats them all, and then he's resting, and then something shining in his eyes, and then you see Jordan in his throne, just sitting there with the glare of his rings shining in the dude's eyes, and he plays them. And then it goes into the game. It's really cool. You don't really see that. I think that was the last time they went with a creative intro like that. But it's
Right.
just super cool. The my career for it kind of sucks. That was whenever Spike Lee started helping with it, whatever. But NBA 16 is just amazing. I think I might have a copy of it here somewhere. Or yeah, I do have a copy, but I don't know where it's at. But it's my favorite 2K.
Okay.
It's way
So
better. It's way better than the fucking 2K covers they're putting out now. Because the Tatum one was AI edited, and then the one they put out for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, AI edited, to where there's 2 Al Horfords on the court covering him. Are we serious?
yeah, and that's something I think that when we talked about it in the pre-show stuff, we were going over it. One of the things on my list, most of my covers are older because they were more creative at the time. And as they've kind of gotten to the newer versions, they've just gotten, I don't want to say, they've just gotten lazy.
Yeah, extremely
Um,
lazy.
And not just EA, but in general, they, like you said, AI, they use AI, or they say, hey, create me this cover and it looks cool. So all right, let's go with that. Well, what is the game about? What's the soul of the game? What's the heart of the game? What's the player about? What? That's why I think they just find a random shot of, like my number 1. The reason I picked it is because it's one of the few. It's one of 2 where this is going on the cover. Everything else is always just an action shot. It's well, okay,
Yeah.
that's great, but there's no soul to it. There's no feeling behind it. I don't know.
But all right, Nick.
I used to like going to, when a game came out, when they announced it and you saw the cover and you're like, oh wow, that cover looks amazing, or that cover means something to me. As opposed to now, it's well, I'm just getting the game because it's the new version of the game.
But I see what you mean. It's hard to think of, if it's I don't know. It's really hard to find, especially in baseball ones. They're always just swinging.
Right. Well,
yeah.
we talked about it. One of the ones that's not on my list, but we had talked about MLB '99 one of my favorite covers because it's Cal Ripken fielding a grounder at third base. It's not a swinging, hitting a home run or whatever. It's the only cover that I can think of on a baseball game, maybe other than Inside Pitch for Xbox, where somebody's fielding a ball. I think Inside Pitch is Garcia Parra throwing a guy out. But
Yeah, I can't
I
think of
mean,
anybody.
so
But all right. Is it
two.
number 2 for you?
Yeah, number 2 for
Yeah.
me. Look, this game, after a long layoff, finally made its way back. But to me, one of the best covers, just because the way it looks. I love the art of it. 2010 NCAA college football did a multi-cover thing based on your region of the country. The one region of the country that I thought had the best cover, by far and away, had Texas Tech, Michael Crabtree. They were fresh off of the gigantic upset of Texas the year before. Crabtree has this amazing game, makes a name for himself, vaults himself into the NFL and into his career. The cover, though, is it's the EA college football logo in the middle, 2010, but it's black and red behind him. It's him, black and red, kind of coming over the top of the logo. It's just a beautiful shot, and you see pictures of it here. I think, to me, just the art. This is the one on the cover that I just love the art of it, how it looks. I have no dog in the fight. I'm not a Texas Tech fan, not a Michael Crabtree fan by any stretch of the imagination or for any reason, but just the way the cover looks to me is just awesome. It's one of the ones for me, it had no sentimental value. It was just purely how the cover looked.
Okay.
So number 2 for you.
Number 2 for me is look, you're gonna give me shit for it because I'm talking about it again. It's NFL 2K5 football. Growing up,
The
my
cover's
favorite.
not even that good.
It's Terrell Owens catching Barrett one-handed. Don't give me that. The cover's not even that good. Your cover of Brian Urlacher is not even that good. He's just standing there in a stance. Don't give me any of that.
But he's wearing the greatest uniform in the history of sports.
No, see, I look past that. Because as I was playing it, I didn't, what brought me
I will
to.
admit it is a cool shot of Terrell Owens jumping through the air, making a one-handed catch in front of
See?
the ESPN logo.
See, you see my way now. As if only you were to go the extra step and play it. Look, I know you like having all the creation stuff. They don't let you miss the salary cap. That sucks. You can't. There's not a lot of creation, but there's a lot of variety in uniforms. Maybe not for the Bears because they wear the same shit over and over again. But I'm telling you, Nick, you will be like, "Wow, Ricky is right on this." Once you play it, 2K5. Once I think of a football game, I think of 2K5 and then Madden 10. That's ironically that's how it is on my list. 2K5, I could literally boot up 2K5 in a minute now and be like, yeah, I'm hooked back in. I'm ready to do another fantasy drafted team and just play until I get bored of it.
Okay.
But all right, numero uno for you, Nick.
So number 1 for me, this one was easy. It's literally my favorite video game cover. Yes, it does happen to have one of my favorite teams represented, but that's not the point. It is one of only 2, and the second one happened this year, as you pointed out. It's one of the only 2 in the history of all NHL covers where it's not somebody just taking a slap shot. It's actually hoisting the Stanley Cup, which is what that sport is all about. I almost went with another hockey game. We talked about it, NHL 95, because the shot of the cover is from inside the net going out and watching the goalie make a stop during a game. It's a beautiful shot. Instead, I went with NHL 16. Oh, Captain, my Captain, Jonathan Toews, hoisting the Stanley Cup. But it's an amazing shot. What most people don't know is that's the backup cover. There originally was a different cover that was announced of Kane and Toews both hoisting the cup together. Then there was some legal trouble for Patrick Kane. He was accused of rape. I'll just say it. He was accused of rape. So EA and the NHL were kind of like, hey, maybe we don't put him on the cover right now while this is going through the process. So they took him off and put just Taze on the cover. Literally just a few months after the game gets released, they find out the girl admits that she was lying and there was some inconsistencies in her state. All that. That's all. Anyway, charges were dropped. He was found completely innocent. No big deal. But he misses out on the chance. Patrick Kane, literally one of the best players in the history of the NHL, just passed the record for Mike Modano for the record for American-born scorers in the history of the NHL. And he misses out on his shot at being on the cover of NHL, which in all the stuff he's accomplished, I'm sure that's not high on the list, but would have been cool for Blackhawks fans to have two guys hoisting the cup. But instead, you still get Jonathan Taze, again, captain, my captain, hoisting the cup. It's a great picture, as you can see. We posted it here. I hope you enjoyed. I also posted the other picture so you can see what the original cover would have been. But yeah, little fun fact.
I would say NHL 12 has a good cover. Just once you look it up, you'll laugh. NHL 12.
I said 19 had the Predators, had Subban on it.
Well, you know.
It's a good cover because he's not taking a shot either. He's actually doing a celebration.
Yeah, he's celebrating. 12, he's shooting. He's after he shot, but once you see who's on the cover, you'll be like, okay, whatever.
All right. Don't steal my thunder. Taze, cover, hoisting the cup. You're number one.
My number one,
I already know.
Immediately what I thought of. It's MLB The Show 07. I have it. I can't say anything else. I begged and begged and begged my dad to buy it whenever it came out, and Dad's like, I don't have a PS3. And, he didn't know it came out for PS2 until years later, until I bought it for PS2. But I have a lot of hours into this game just because David Wright's on the cover. Is it the best MLB The Show? No, it is not. It's literally like a time capsule. That's why I love that's why I love going back and playing older sports games, because it's like a time capsule for that.
Well,
but
people who may not, or maybe listening to the show for the first time and may not know, David Wright is your guy. Like that is your.
That's like, I remember going to school and everyone, going to school in the South, everyone's Braves fans or whatever, and they're all assholes to you. And they're like, who's your favorite team? The New York Mets. Who's your favorite player? David Wright. They would go, oh, he's good. And growing up, like, that's like my number one guy. I literally have a David Wright jersey that I outgrew, that I got early in high school. It's a home Mets. The back is number 5. The name on the back says captain. It was sold on MLB Shop. Like, it's something I'll always cherish. I'll never forget feeling just hopeless for David Wright as a fan because, broke his back. He got spinal stenosis, all this, that, and the other, and going through the whole spiel. But David Wright's just legendary, to me at least. But growing up, to have my favorite sports athlete ever to be on the cover of a game, that's immediately number one, ironed in. You could sew it on there. You could cement it. It's whatever you want to say. It's number one for me.
No, that's pretty awesome. That's exactly that's very awesome. That's it's cool when it works out that way. It is, when, like, again, like I said with Urlacher earlier, if he would have been on Madden, that would have been even better. But Caleb Williams, as we talked about, the whole reason we're doing this segment, why it came up, it's cool for me as a Bears fan. It's a pride thing. Like it's a very cool thing to know your guy is that good, that he's representing the sport right now. And for David Wright, that was Major League Baseball in 07. That's a very cool thing. So, but yeah, and there you go, that whistle right there. our time is up. So that means it's sign off time. And last week I had to go because emotionally you just couldn't go first. So this week you get to go first.
Um,
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
baseball's
2 weeks ago I had to go first. Last week you did go first. I'll give you that.
yeah. Baseball's still being played. The Mets have won 6 out of the last 9. So let's go Mets. Is it going to be a fun season? No, it's not. Is it going to be a season that I remember for a lot of stuff? Maybe for the pain in my heart, but let's go Mets.
Okay. So mine's a two-parter.
Two-parter?
It's real quick.
First ever two-parter, everybody! Going 115 episodes of the Virtual Press Box. Hello here, Nick Berry. Two-parter for the sign-off.
With the announcement last week, both announcements last week, it's Who's Your Daddy? The Iceman Cometh. So, there you go.
Are we quoting like the Yankees fans chanting at Pedro Martinez, who's your daddy?
No, Hoosier as in Indiana. Daddy.
Yeah,
Cometh.
I knew what you were getting at. I'm just saying. First off, you didn't even have to say it's a two-parter. It's Hoosier, comma, whatever.
No. Who's your daddy? Comma, the Iceman Cometh.
Yeah, that's how you got a two-parter. You didn't have to fucking build it up like that. Whatever. Everybody,
well, I could finish it off with the King in the North, because whether it's Illinois or Indiana, it doesn't matter. The King in the North is still a Chicago Bear.
King in the North and the Midwest, but all right.
So that is this week's show. Another fun show. I mean, this is a few weeks in a row now. We've just been fun. Like it's a great feeling. It's
always great. It's always great.
This time next week we will have champions in the NBA and the NHL.
Possibly.
Right?
And then on the 24th, there will be a special episode recorded that night for the Virtual Press Box. We will be doing our first ever redraft of an NFL first round. We're not doing the whole draft. Anybody that was available to get drafted that year will be up for grabs. We'll be doing the full first round, 1 through 32. Me, Nick, Drake, and Griffin will be all joining us. We haven't figured out who's gonna, draft what yet, but it's gonna be a whole lot of fun. We're doing the 2007 draft. Whole lot of first overall picks that can go here. I know if I'm going first, everybody should take this man. I'm not gonna say it because that reveals my hand here.
If Drake goes first, God help us all. Literally.
I don't even want to know what he was picking. 2007. If he picks 2007,
he already said.
No, he said if it was 2011, he's picking Tim Tebow.
Oh, he said that's right. He said it was 2011.
Yeah. He might take Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson.
Now, how we're doing it though is how trades were done. That's where the lineup ended being. That's how we're going to do it.
Yes.
So
not before, but when the round was over, who had what pick and everything like that. So
quick note, Carolina did hold on, so the Hurricanes have now tied it 2 games apiece with Vegas going into Game 5.
Yes, but for this, whoever's picking number 1, they're picking as if they are the Oakland Raiders, and I don't know if anybody goes Jamarcus Russell.
I would bet pretty much everything I have. There's no chance in hell you go Jamarcus Russell.
I don't think he even goes in any of these 32 picks.
I don't think he goes in any of the 7 rounds.
If
you knowing if hindsight is 2020, there's no way he goes in any of this.
Yeah. But but that should be pretty fun. That's something that I've been talking up about doing for a while now. But Nick, hope you have a good night, everybody. Thank you for listening.
And between now and next week, there's one thing they should do, and what is that?
Don't watch the Mets. It's
supposed to be just watch sports.
Just watch sports. Just watch sports. Don't watch the Mets.
Yeah, I agree. Don't watch the Mets. All right, man. Have a good one.
Put it in the books.
So long, everybody.